Hey there, how's it going, YouTube? Today we're going to be talking a little bit about the Galaxy Nexus versus the Epic 4G Touch. I'm going to make, I don't know if it's going to be individual videos. I think for hardware though, I wanted to focus a little bit specifically on hardware and make a video just talking about hardware. If you don't like this type of video, then go watch something else. If this isn't for you, if it is, feel free to go through the whole video. So we're talking about hardware on the Epic 4G Touch. We have a 4.52-inch Super AMOLED Plus display. Great display, even though it has a poor resolution. It's a WVGA resolution, so it's 480 by 800. If you need more details on that, you can always do a Google search. But basically, the display has a poor resolution, but it makes up when it comes to colors and saturation and everything. Things just look really, really beautiful on this display. As far as hardware, you have a 2-megapixel front-facing camera, which is great for video chat, great for taking video of yourself if that's your thing. You can also record 720p and 1080p video with the rear-facing camera here. Picture stills are really, really awesome on this phone. Probably the best picture stills that I've seen them. I've compared this. I haven't actually made a video of this, but I have a cousin that has an iPhone 4S, and we did some comparisons when it came to video and picture stills. In terms of video, I think the iPhone has better video capabilities, but in terms of picture stills, the Epic 4G Touch is probably the best phone that I've tested. So really great video, really great picture stills. The flash isn't really too in your face. Here and there you'll get some pictures where the object in focus is nice and lit, but the background is really dark, even though it's not a really dark picture or you're in a dark situation. So but compared to other phones, it does a really good job. Also, the speaker grill is really great, really good for YouTube, Netflix, for when you're on a phone call and you put it on speaker. Really great speaker, and it's not something that I can say about this phone. We're going to talk about it right now. So in terms of hardware, it's also very thin. When it first came out, I couldn't believe how thin this phone actually was, and comparing and contrasting that with this huge display. Obviously this one has a bigger display, but just when you grab this phone, it's kind of unreal just to have a screen this big and have a phone be this thin. You do have a little Samsung hump here, but it's not too bad. And even when you're rocking a case on this phone, it doesn't feel like very, very thick. I have a few cases that I usually have on my phones because I like to keep them nice and protected. And for it being really, really thin, once you put on a case, it's not something to complain about. It's nice and thin, nice and beautiful too. I think in terms of hardware, Samsung did a really good job here. It's unfortunate that they didn't increase the resolution. I think that's my main beef with this phone, my main problem. It has everything going for it. It has a dual-core Exynos processor, which is probably my favorite type of processor that's on a phone. Obviously, you have the new generation of chipsets from Qualcomm and NVIDIA Tegra and this and that. But and actually from Samsung, they have the Samsung, what is it, 4 Quad or Quad 4, which is their new quad-core processor that's going to be on the Galaxy S3. So anyway, in terms of hardware, I would say that this is a really, really solid phone. In terms of hardware, you really can't complain too much, other than the resolution. Just speaking, for myself here, in terms of resolution, it's not great, but you do have a Super AMOLED Plus display. It's fast as hell, and you have a great camera, able to record 720p, 1080p, great audio, so you don't have to download any type of application or anything. And then you have a 2-megapixel front-facing camera, 2 full megapixels, which actually makes a difference comparing it to phones from HTC and LG that have 1.3 and blah blah blah. So in terms of hardware, I would say it's a very solid, in my opinion, it's a 8.5 to 9 out of 10 stars. So in hardware-wise, I would say this is a really, really solid phone. Now, when talking about the Galaxy Nexus, the Galaxy Nexus obviously is the newest Google phone. You're not going to have any capacitive keys. All of the navigation is going to be done through virtual keys here that are actually within the phone. So when you power off the phone, no keys, you just have a big black slab. A very sexy phone. So for me, that's very important. If I'm not turned on by the phone, then I'm definitely not going to pick it up. And that's actually one of the main reasons why I picked up the Galaxy Nexus. It's got a great feel, very ergonomic here. You got a nice contour display. Probably not coming across here with this camera that I have, but you have a nice contour display. It feels a little bit heftier than the Epic 4G Touch, which is something that I myself like. I know a lot of people aren't into heavy phones, and this is not a heavy phone, but it's a nice hefty phone. It's not going to be as thin as the Epic 4G Touch, so if you're really looking for a thin phone, the Epic 4G Touch is going to be your thing, especially if you're on Sprint. But the Galaxy Nexus has really fine hardware, really sexy. You know, Samsung improves, you know, with every phone that they release, and this one was no exception here. Really great feel. The back cover is nice and smooth. It's not smooth when taking it off and putting it back on, but in terms of materials here, it just feels really premium. You have this type of like, I don't know if it's plastic, if it probably is plastic, but it just feels really nice here on the edges. Everything looks really beautiful. However, you do have a 1.3 megapixel front-facing camera, so it's not the two full megapixels like you have them on the Epic 4G Touch. Some people might not like the fact that you have you don't have capacitive keys that are actually set on the phone. You have virtual keys. That may be a deal breaker for some of you. It's been pretty okay for me. It's kind of hard to go from having, you know, the 4 full keys here and that dedicated search button, and especially that menu button there. But after you use the Galaxy Nexus for a while, you're gonna start to get used to it. The resolution on this here is awesome. You have a 720p HD screen here, which is, you know, high definition. Things look really beautiful. YouTube, Netflix, pictures, wallpapers, just text. Everything looks really beautiful here on the Galaxy Nexus. In terms of processor, you have a TI OMAP dual-core processor. Not the best type of processor, but you know, I'm gonna be making my review soon. I'm gonna be filming it and everything, but you know, it's not too bad now. So I'm gonna give you just a glimpse of what I'm gonna be talking about in my review. With the software updates and the little from going from 4.0.1 to 4.0.1, and now it's 4.0.4. Everything just seems to fly a little bit better and just smoother. So the processor isn't too bad. Obviously you have software, and we're going to talk about that in another video. But in terms of hardware, you know, the phone has been pretty good. You can film video in 720p and 1080p HD. It's a little bit shaky. It's not the best kind of video. I did post 2 videos on my channel comparing the 2 phones. Some people said that this one was a little bit better. Some people like the Epic 4G Touch. I myself like the colors a little bit better on the Galaxy Nexus, but the Epic 4G Touch just seemed a lot smoother. In terms of picture stills though, I had said that this one was better, the Epic 4G Touch, but I've been taking pictures with this phone, and you'd be surprised. It takes some pretty good pictures once you focus and once you get the autofocus working. But I would say in terms of hardware, I would probably have to give it to the Epic 4G Touch, but you know, in terms of horsepower and everything, and features and specs. But in day-to-day use, this phone is just as good. You know, you have a nice, beautiful display. It's nice and speedy, and it's just overall very sexy. So this is another one of those kind of videos where you're gonna have to, you know, try them out and see what works for you. Both are really great. Lower resolution, higher resolution, better video, probably better picture stills, I want to say. Overall sexiness, I would say a Galaxy Nexus takes it. Epic 4G Touch is just as sexy, so it's just a battle between both of them. So thank you so much for watching. I'm going to be making more videos talking about other stuff. If there was something that I missed, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. Feel free to like this video. Follow me on Twitter. I'm at DroidBooth. And I'll be talking to you guys in the next video. Cheers.